What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex, back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's jump right into the topic of this video. Today I wanted to preview the Raiders offense going into 2024, and today I wanted to talk about one player I am super excited about going into the regular season, and that is second-year wide receiver Trey Tucker, and why he could very well have a legitimate chance to break out for the Las Vegas Raiders this season. Now, just to recap on Trey Tucker, the Raiders drafted him in the 3rd round last season, and it was an up and down season for him being a rookie coming into the league, but the big part of that was just a situation he was brought into, and a big part of that was just due to the offensive struggles the Raiders had the first half of the season under Josh McDaniels. You saw he really wasn't utilized at all like the first month of the season. Certain games he was inactive, which was mind-boggling to me. But after the Raiders got off to a rocky start and Josh McDaniels was fired, you saw Trey Tucker started to slowly but surely get more involved in the offense and really turn into a legit deep threat for this offense. In the 2023 NFL season, Trey Tucker caught 19 passes for 331 yards and 2 touchdowns, along with rushing for 77 yards on 10 attempts. And despite him having overall limited opportunities and overall volume in target shares in his offense, he really showcased his speed and potential as a deep threat down the field, averaging about 20.7 receiving yards per attempt. And really towards the end of the season, you kind of started to see him finally get more big plays down the field. And another reason why I am pretty optimistic about Trey Tucker is the fact that the Raiders officially have named Gardner Minshew as the starting quarterback. And although it's a limited sample size, but what I saw in the preseason was that Gardner Minshew and Trey Tucker had a nice little connection in those 2 games against the Minnesota Vikings and against the Dallas Cowboys. They were able to connect on deep throws, with Trey Tucker making 30-yard gains in both of those games that they played together. In that Vikings game, Minshew hit him with 2 deep throws, and in the Cowboys game, he hit him with 1 as well. So like I said, limited sample size, but I like that little connection they showed. And I think there's a chance that this chemistry could translate into a significant role for Trey Tucker in the regular season, especially as a vertical threat. And especially with Gardner Minshew, I mean, he really didn't get any snaps with Davante Adams and with Jacoby Myers and Brock Bowers. So that might be something to watch out for. Early in the season, he might feel a little bit more comfortable with Trey Tucker just because he has more in-game reps with him. And although the Raiders quarterback situation is still not 100% certain in the fact that Gardner Minshew may not be the starter the entire regular season, at some point Aiden O'Connell might come in there. I mean, hopefully not. I mean, ideally, I just want whoever our starting quarterback is, I want him to play all 17 games. So I'm rooting for Gardner Minshew in that aspect. But in the worst case scenario, if Gardner Minshew was to be pulled and Aiden O'Connell was to go out there, well, the good thing is that O'Connell and Trey Tucker have a nice little connection as well. You saw O'Connell was able to hit him down the field on numerous different occasions last season. So regardless who the quarterback is, I think Trey Tucker should still be a big part of this offense, a big focal point, really, because the skill sets and the speed that Trey Tucker possesses is something unique to the Raiders roster. He can stretch the field and force defenses to account for his deep threat ability, opening up big plays for this offense. With him just being out there on the field, it forces the safeties to either respect his speed and provide safety help over the top, which will then open up the underneath game to Davante Adams, to Jacoby Myers, and Brock Bowers underneath. And if the opposing defense doesn't do that, if they want to get a little bit more aggressive, well, then that opens up big opportunities down the field for Trey Tucker. And Tucker has shown that he can take the top off of the defense on any given play. Also with Trey Tucker, I mean, going into this offseason, I wasn't sure if they were going to utilize him in the special teams department. But with the emergence of Tyreek McAllister in special teams during the preseason, making huge plays. This very well could force Trey Tucker to only focus on the offensive side of the football, being a wide receiver. And I think that would be an ideal situation for us. If Tyreek McAllister can continue to do what he did in the preseason, we're going to be fine in the special teams department, and we're really not going to have a big need for Trey Tucker to ever get involved in that. So that would be a very ideal scenario for the Raiders moving forward. Now, some of the challenges or question marks ahead of Trey Tucker going into this season is just how often and how many times will Trey Tucker ultimately be on that football field. With the Raiders having a new offense, with us having offensive coordinator Luke Getsy, his personnel choices could be a big factor to how many snaps Trey Tucker is going to be out there on the field. If the Raiders continue to use a lot of 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight end sets, then Trey Tucker may see a limited amount of snaps, as only 2 wide receivers are going to be on the football field. We all know Davante Adams is going to be a lock to be on the football field every single play unless he's injured. And really it's just that number 2 wide receiver spot that's going to be up for grabs. And Jacoby Myers is expected to be that second option. He's coming off of a breakout season. But one thing that Jacoby Myers doesn't really have is that deep threat ability like Trey Tucker has. And like I said, Jacoby Myers is coming off of a fantastic season, but I think a big part of that too was he absolutely thrived in this Patriots style offense under Josh McDaniels, especially early in the season. I think he had an advantage over most of the wide receivers in that room because he knew the offense, he had the timing down. So it is going to be interesting to see how Jacoby Myers adapts to this new offense in a new offensive system. He's still a great wide receiver, but I wouldn't be shocked if his overall production went down this season. So really, I think that could be the biggest disadvantage to Trey Tucker, is the fact that if we run a lot of 12 personnel, if we have a lot of pass blockers, then he may not be out on the football field as much as I would like him to be out there. And a big part of really the success of this offense and Trey Tucker in general is going to be relied on how well is the Raiders offensive line going to be this season. Really, the offensive line's ability to pass block is going to be crucial. Gardner Minshew needs time to throw down the field, especially on these deep passes to Trey Tucker. You need time for these deep routes to develop down the field. So the offensive line's performance will be a critical factor in the success of Trey Tucker and just the success of the Raiders offense in general. Like I said, Trey Tucker gives this offense something that I don't really see in any other player, and I would like to see him out on the football field as much as possible. And I think he has a legit chance to break out this season. I like the fact too that in the preseason he didn't show any issues with him dropping the football. We know that's been a little bit of an issue for him coming into the league. Last season he was dropping the football in the preseason. A couple different times in the regular season he was bobbling some catches that resulted in incomplete passes. This year in training camp he was having some issues with the drops, but so far in the preseason he essentially caught everything that hit his hands, and I love to see that. But my final thoughts on Trey Tucker is the fact that I'm super excited about his development and impact this season. If things fall into place, he has a real chance to break out and make a significant impact on this Raiders offense in 2024. So keep an eye out for the speedster. He really could be the key to more explosive plays this season. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below of the role and impact that Trey Tucker will have in this offense under Luke Getsy. Let me know in that comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Anybody that's new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one.